Hey everyone, welcome to Lies of P, or Fairy Tale Dark Souls, or Edgelord Pinocchio. I wanted to take a sec to talk about the game, how fun it was. It was really fun. It was very much like Dark Souls or Dishonored or any of the other types of Soul games, if you actually played them. Not saying that you did. It did have its little flaws. Like, there weren't that many side quests. There weren't like maybe not even a handful, not even 10, less than 10. But it was a very fun game, a very good story, in my opinion. Before I get to the boss battles of the game, I just wanted to talk about it. I hope they make more of these games. I would love to see like Alice in Wonderland or Return to Oz or any of the other fairy tales. The dark ones, not the lighthearted ones that we've been shown in recent years, but like the dark, edgy ones. But yeah. Thank you for watching. If you watched it. And don't forget to like or follow and subscribe for more content. And now, what you came to see. The ringleader or ringmaster boss fight was a pretty fun one. He made me work for it. He killed me a few times. And he is scary looking. He's supposed to be like the ringleader, to like make children laugh and smile, but how the heck are you supposed to look at this thing and say, hey, this is what I want my kids to be around with? Especially in the second phase where he rips out his own head, which you'll see in a sec. However, he could move for a big guy. His attacks didn't have much reach except for the double arm swipe attack. That's what I'm calling it. As I said, these are some pretty fun and inventive bosses, and not just that, but the other little enemies were very creative. The little robots are called puppets in this game. See, he tore off his head. And it was just the scariest thing I've seen, like when I first started the game. I should point out that these are my first encounters of the bosses. I actually cleared this game like 4 times so I can get all the achievements. But the videos here should be my first encounters with each one. And not all the bosses that I've encountered were on my first playthrough because I didn't know about them. I try not to look up too much about the game, I wanna find them on my own most of the time. Because that's gamer to gamers. That's the fun part of it. But the boss battles are pretty fun. And like I said, this resembles a lot of the Soul games if you have played any. Of course, if you played the Soul games, this game should be a snap to you. I mean, not a snap, but it should be funner to play for you.
You've got a lot to answer for.
And I, of course, got the special edition or gold edition or season pass thing, so I got some of the stuff ahead of time. I did love the Mad Donkey costume when I got it. That's what I wore after I got it. It's just I don't know why, because the reason is that I did see the Pinocchio story. So I did like the donkey thing where he transforms into a donkey, or the other kids transform into a donkey. And
Can't sneak
not to be
past
mean
me.
to the main character or to the developers, but I don't know why. It's just the Pinocchio or Tin Man or whatever. His face kind of annoyed me a bit, so that's why I decided to wear the donkey head the entire game. And I guess from the beginning I should say spoilers. But yes, there's some stuff here that spoils the story if you don't want to see it. Not that there's anybody that actually sees it, because like I'm talking to myself most of the time. Honestly, I tried to use different weapons, and I did. I mainly used the charge baton, the electric thing, or the salamander dagger. But I really had the easiest time with the trident. It had a lot of reach. And if you're like me, I grinded levels so I can make it easier on me when I fight when I went through the rest of the game. I would take a few hours to grind some levels. That's fun for me. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But I like to grind the levels so I can get stronger and have an easier time against the boss battles. Honestly, the graphics and how the characters look in this game is amazing. Just like look at all that detail.
Finally, we meet.
There's some speculations about who the main character is, if he's actually Pinocchio or he's the Tin Man. As I research a bit of the game, I got to see different theories, and the game hasn't been out that long, so you know that people really liked it if they're coming up with theories and already uploading games of it. Sorry, upload videos of it. This boss battle was a little scary, if I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's supposed to be a cop, right? But like the way he emerges out of the building is super creepy. Of course, he was fun too. Like his, I want to say second phase, but all he did was just break his back, and like his electricity could emerge. Another feature that I like in this game is that you can mix blades and handles. That was a very neat little feature. I had fun mixing different weapons. One of the weapons that I mixed was the salamander dagger, and I forgot the name of the other one. Is the blade with the little bull handle. Another one was the baton bolt, the little spinny electric bolt thing in the fireman axe. Another one was the police baton and the Mjolnir hammer, which if it's your first time playing it, you should probably make that combination. It makes some of the big buffy enemies stagger quicker. I tried to play each weapon. Some of them were pretty fun. The alarm annoyed me. Like, I could hear throughout the game, which I mean, I guess it's a factory and the alarms goes off, and it's just feels like I was trying to wake up from a wake up alarm. I thought that was its head at first until he freaking assembles or boots up. I honestly thought a little head popping out was adorable. I don't know why. He's strangely endearing. It's like I don't know how he reminds me of some sort of conductor or like a steam engine. Like one arm is like a hammer and the other one is like a flamethrower, but it looks like a work horn. You know, when you feel like thing. The little NPC that helps me came in handy a lot of times to draw away distractions so I can heal or throw items or anything, or buff him up or buff myself. This one's one of the mini bosses that I didn't know about until I started looking around the building, or I did a little research of it. I thought his little head ornament was cute.
Every single
Not
one.
not that I would wear it over the donkey head, but it was cool. He's freaking out. I mean, if you were a normal person, I guess you'd be freaking out about your robot servants or puppet servants suddenly turning on you. The little human boss battles like him, they were more tough than the actual big ones because they could move around so much and they had throwing weapons.
I wish I'd known. Surviving a hell of its own. I wish I hadn't run away! I'm sorry. I was afraid to die.
I had to grind a bit so I could grow immunity to the poison and like be able to take on the puppet of the future. Just looks like a giant bulldozer or a wrecking ball, or both combined. I didn't know that there was a lever that you can pull to get rid of the poison until later, until like my second playthrough. So I feel dumb that I could have just done that and move around instead of grinding to buy some items and level up. You fight like two more of these later on. Oh, spoilers or whatever. He's surprisingly easy if you understand how it moves. I felt a little bad about this one. She just tried to help me keep me away from the petrification virus or stone zombies. Not the fun stone, I'm talking about the rock stone. But I felt bad for her because I had to lie to her to get up there. And then I thought she would have some other dialogue after I returned to her, you know, like, oh, thank you for clearing the church or whatever. She goes, oh, you lied to me. And I felt a little bad about killing her. Just a little. I mean, she came at me with a giant metal tooth. That's what it looks like. Or a pickaxe or whatever.
You will soon find out.
I am to assume that she's also infected because her attacks have the decay effect like some of the petrified creatures of the game. So at some point she got infected.
Cherish your life. I do not wish to witness more death. Can you hear it? The cursed angel's wing.
Time to kill the Pope. In this game. Don't come after me for saying something like that. He's supposed to be like a pope. And I thought that was his main body, which technically it is his new body. That weird creature thing was his original body. But as you find out later that when you reach for the hand of God or whatever, that body is kind of like a husk, and then he breaks it open and his real body comes out. See if you see the little, I want to say rib cage or back. You find out later that this thing is like a husk, and the real body is inside. The new body, because use vast amounts of ergo to, I want to say, evolve or metamorphosize into a new creature. And that's what he and the final boss did. Spoilers. That's what I got from it. I probably could be wrong. See, he's gonna do the thing. It's like he's ready to shed. And like he comes out like slithery like his new body. But it's like a weird failed experiment, which I never understood it. Like, I tried to, again, I didn't really research much of the game, I just wanted to play it, but you can't deny that the story and the graphics and the little bosses don't make you question much like they do. And I thought like the one wing was like a failed angel.
I'm the one with
Honestly, he was much easier to beat in the second phase than the first. Now we're going up against the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I think that's what it's called. This was a very challenging boss fight because you fight like 4 separate people. Even with the help of the NPC, they're still a little tough. What I didn't know is that you were supposed to go after the big guy first. Ah, she's so cute. If I ever decide to do a segment of the pretty ladies of the gaming verse, she will make the list. When you first meet her, she kind of makes fun of you for stepping onto a trap, but you can't avoid it because it's part of the game. Like you walk to a certain distance and one spontaneously pops out.
Bring it on. You ain't seen nothing.
Like it was always meant to be there and you just didn't see it. And then she's like, "Oh, you're a looker." She was very cute, just like the blue fairy. Or Sophie, is that her name? I like the red fox better. And it's not just because I like reds.
So you want to play with me, Mr. Puppet?
Oh no! Knock him out, bro!
Another good thing about having an NPC help you in a fight, you can, while they're distracted with it, you can do things like this when you don't have enough space in your items. Dang, that sword's got a lot of reach. I was sad that you couldn't have that sword as a weapon. It would have been cool. That's disturbing. I like how they go, oh, how could you kill our brother? But they were trying to kill me first. Very hypocritical, if you ask me. I seriously wanted to have that sword, but it wasn't meant to be. He's like, oh, how could you?
Damn you. You'll pay for that.
He's like, you will pay for that. Screw you.
Let's have it. I dedicate this performance to my sister Adelina.
She was the toughest of all the human boss, the little boss fights. She was so swift, she could parry you. It was just fun, it was fun. I had to keep my distance and just throw items and shoot her with a little falcon's eye. I don't know why they just call it cannon hand. Turns out she's like the sister of this big singer that you meet later on in the game. Which is sad for both of them. Their little story is a little sad.
Scream a requiem for me, if you would. You stole my sister from me, rotten puppets!
I did not find out about their story until like my second playthrough, what they actually meant, because I couldn't find, or should I say, I didn't even look for the other sister. But it was a sad little story. Again, there are not many side quests in this game. I mean, which is fine. You know, it helps you focus on the actual game. This one was a little irritating. I had to run past it, go to the star view or star clock or whatever, and so I can spawn there and just sneak up on it. Again, he was not like tough, he was just like a little annoying. His moves were all over the place, and if you can somehow parry that or have it hit a wall or something, it kind of bounces back to it and does a little bit of damage. Now this one made me chuck my remote, almost made me chuck my remote. I thought the little intro was pretty cool. kind of foreshadowing what's to come. Now, I haven't seen much of this, but this is my theory if no one's come up with it. Later on, I think you see this puppet later on when you fight before you fight the two puppets of the future. He's like flopped on the floor next to the home base or the respawn point, and he asks you about what emotions are like. And I think that is that puppet, because you don't see it after you beat this boss fight, and you find it later on. I mean, and it gets like a heart and all. So I think it's that puppet. I love second phases. Sure, they're tougher and makes you want to toss your remote to the next county, but they're pretty fun. This is supposed to be like a friend of yours that you meet, like later on, or in the main character's past. Honestly, he resembled the Terminator a lot from this specific scene that I see. Look at the face. It's like every Terminator movie you've seen. I'll be back. This one was also pretty fun. You fight Victor. That's what he calls himself. It was very WrestleMania type boss fight. He he talked like a wrestler from those shows. See, look. Again, another like half-baked theory of mine. He calls himself Victor, which I think like, you know, like Victor Frankenstein.
The champion!
Because he also kind of resembles it if you look at it. When I first fought it, like I couldn't for the life of me figure out that he was rushing me.
You're so weak! Lower! Fit!
And then I also like this kinds of boss battles that are like they rely on punches and kicks. He was very nimble. Here comes his second phase. He's juicing up. His second phase from his first phase, I didn't notice that much of a difference. He kind of still moved the same way. It's just he looked cool, and I think he got bigger.
This is the power of the reborn!
I honestly thought he was going through a third phase in a second. Then that little thing when he gets impaled, that almost made me drop my remote because I kind of feel like a jump scared. This one you fight like a doctor. I think he calls himself a doctor. He's got that surgical saw and everything. He had an owl head. I thought that was pretty neat.
Ah, this must be quite an urgent patient to seek out my humble abode. You are still breathing. I must treat you quickly. Grod cannot have any more live patients. Trust me, it's better this way. 'Tis far nobler to die as a human. No vital signs. You must be dead. I'll dispose of you properly. Remember now. My Adelina.
Anybody else get a Resident Evil vibe from this? Like in Resident Evil 5's the Ouroboros virus? I mean, I thought it was gonna be like a spider or something, but look at it. It reminds me of those wiggly black tendrils from Resident Evil 5. Even his second face resembles Resident Evil 5. You'll see in a sec. Again, if you played Resident Evil 5, you'll know what I mean. In the game, he also kind of grabs a corpse or some discarded body and like he merges with it to become stronger. Again, not that this is not creative or fun. It's just it reminded me of that. See, he's like doing the same thing. I don't know, just gotta, again, a fun boss fight. Very creative. It reminded me of the boss fights of the Ouroboros virus from Resident Evil 5. This one was also a little sad. I thought it was another member of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, but it was just another, like a little street thug. She was just hungry and needed food. Of course, doesn't mean that she wasn't tough to fight. I like the little weasel head that she had on. Tried putting it on instead of the donkey, but I don't know, it didn't go well with it.
In a city where everything is upside down, the strong rule, not the wise.
I just wanted a full belly. That's not so wrong.
This one was a little annoying. I went like 5 or 6 times that it died, or yeah, I had to respawn 5 or 6 times to finally be able to take it down. I don't know why, it was just tough. It wasn't even that it didn't move that cleverly or anything. It's just it gave me a hard time, especially its little second phase when it split into 2. And I thought that he looked, and to think that he looked better than he does now. Parade Master, that's the name. Honestly, he wasn't that tough. Not as tough as when I first fought him. Of course, I grinded levels, so this I actually managed to take it down on my first try. I like that he could like drop little minions to fight for him, but he could only drop 1. It would have been much more fun if he could drop 2 or 3. See, look. And now my rematch with the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Try saying that 5 times as fast. Black Rabbit Brotherhood, Black Rabbit Brotherhood, Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I guess it wasn't that tough. I seriously wish I could have that sword. But it wasn't meant to be.
Accept your fate.
The only one I feel bad about killing is the cute chick.
Right, demonstration time.
I like how,
Who wants to watch this guy?
I don't know if the developers meant for it or not, but I know that the Big Brother is gonna come out. I knew, and not even after fighting it, like, it didn't surprise me when he emerged. I knew he was gonna come out. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it was meant to be like a gotcha moment or something, but
When we couldn't save our brother.
especially with all that stuff around the coffin. Maybe they meant to make it obvious or not, but I didn't see it come. I mean, I saw it coming.
Big Brother always looks out for me. I'm gonna smash you to pieces!
Alright, demonstration time. Who wants to watch this guy break apart? Could I have trained harder? Or brought better gear?
Thought it was all a cheap trick! Big Brother came to save us! You're dead, puppet! Avenge you. But stupid puppet!
This one was also tough because I couldn't figure out where to hit it. Like, one leg bounces off, and on my next playthroughs through it, when I played the New Game Plus, I beat it much more easily. It's just like, if you think about it, it was pretty easy because you just gotta hit him a few times, then he'll stagger, and then when you do the little stagger attack, it takes a huge chunk of its health. So you just gotta stagger him twice, and it works for each phase. I know after each New Game Plus it becomes slightly more difficult, but it's still like 2 staggers and he's done. Now I'm
You're
going
really
up against the
something.
black cat
Seriously, that's
and the
impressive.
fox
How
later.
did you follow me all the way here?
In this
Fighting was always
playthrough,
my
I
last
fought
choice, you
them.
know?
I didn't want to.
I'm
I
not
know
getting
that
anywhere
they
near
kind
my
of
sister,
mess
friend.
with me and like they
You
lied
have
to
to go
me and
through me
conned me,
first.
but I still
I
didn't
actually
want to
thought we
fight
were
them.
friends.
But if I wanted to
Was any of
go
that
through
true?
each boss fight, I had to at least
In the end, I really
fight
don't
them
care.
once.
There's only one
And I
good
also feel
motive,
bad
and I
because
should
he's technically
let
blind.
you go if you give me
Or
gold
going
coin
blind,
first.
that's why he needs the gold coin fruit. But I don't give it to him and he fights me and I kill him.
Sometimes you can buy
And
friendship.
he's like, oh, I
Best way
consider
to
you to
make
be
a
a friend
friendship.
even if I don't trust
Who
you. And I
knows,
did
but
too.
it does work.
Like, which is why my next playthroughs I
So
let
much
them
talking,
live.
I'm tired of that too now. There's no way around it.
But
You
for
and
a
I are
blind
gonna
man, he
continue
could
this
fight.
conversation, stalker style. And those conversations only end when somebody dies. So let's chat, you goddamn talking ragdoll! You don't get near my sister, got it? Look, family to protect. Nothing personal. Stay alive. Even if it means fighting dirty, that's the sweeper's way. Crazy talk. I didn't want to be a burden to my sister anyway.
Did I say that the Puppet King was hard? Well, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't know about this unknowing beauty. Yeah, under that armor, she's a little bit hot. And you'll see on the second face. But damn, she made me work for it.
Simon. Your sword, Vexasia, swears to protect
God
this tower.
damn!
Sir Simon, only you with the one.
And of course, the Red Fox, my redhead, Claudia. That's her name. It's not Red Fox. Again, I have to fight her because I have to fight every boss, but I do spare them in the next playthroughs.
She was going totally blind. But now, the fruit is useless. I swear on my life as a stalker that your father is safe. My employer promised not to harm him. Not that such a promise is worth anything to you now. But I wanted to set the record straight before, you know. Revenge is all I have left now. You might be my first real challenge. Come on. Tricking someone to survive. Maybe that's human nature. I thought maybe we could be friends. Quick and fast. That's the bastard's way. suppose we villains never get to choose.
I knew you could do it.
Of course, there's 3 endings to this,
Be human again. I just
and one of them is not giving him your heart. I mean, 2 of the endings is not giving him your heart. He's the reason for all the anguish of Krat, whatever the name of the city
you
is.
insist on breaking my heart. Well,
This is where I fight the nameless puppet.
mischievous.
He was tough.
Seems you inherited.
He made me
his
grind
personality
for
as madness.
hours just so I can have a
But
chance.
a father always looks after his children. Even naughty ones that must be punished. Like you. In my own way, I grew to love you. After all, you're the puppet who would bring my son back to life. I'm disappointed in you. I didn't mean for this to happen. I believed you were a good boy. If you refuse, then I'll have to retrieve it myself. My son. Can become a real human. Come to me, my son. I never found you covered like the other puppets because of Carlo's memories within you. I knew you had gone astray. Troublesome little puppet. Freedom is not for you, but for Carlo. No father wants to resort to the last, but there's no other way.
Obviously, he was gonna have a second face. I mean, practically every other boss battle had it. But you think after having half of your head cut off, that would be it? But you actually get stronger?
Nothing more.
Tell me that, how does that work? I found another way to beat it, it's just I had to use the items first. On my next playthrough, if you use the blasting shield, you have a lot easier time beating it, as long as you have a lot of stamina. If you build up your character to have a lot of stamina. I maxed out a few of the classes, except the last 2. But yeah, if you use the shield, you'll have an easier time beating it. But yeah, that's it. That's each boss fight from the game.
Destroy.
One of the 3 endings, he calls you a disappointment if you manage to like turn into a real boy before the boss fight. He calls you his son. And then the other ending is like you give him his heart and he's all thankful and he's like, oh, my best puppet.